wasn't anxious at all. Radio 1.
It's Radio 1 for W.
Kayce One on Radio 1.
Kayce One on Radio 1.
Hello?
Hi, good evening, we're into the Ally McCrae show.
Okay.
Cheers. And the doors of Radio 1. Nice building there. Oh, nice, alright.
It's Ally here, BBC introducing a Sunday night, and every single week I'm joined by a session guest, and this week I'm so pleased to announce I have got on Kayce One and Toni Smoke. How's it going, guys?
Very well, yes.
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 Right, we're going to have a little chat in a minute, but let's get straight into it. What's your first session track going to be tonight?
First track's called District 19.
Excellent, take it away. It's Kayce One and Toni Smoke live on Radio 1.
Hey Tony, just phoning to say I got your message last night and the beats are perfect. The problem is I can't think of anything to write, so I'm sort of stuck. It's weird, man, it's like my rain book's full and no one's hearing it. It just seems
everything I do these days simply isn't good enough. Pushing through the masses with a cannon blast judo punch. I'm halfway between a better day, but I'm still clawing out of potholes I recall falling in yesterday. Safe to say, I don't write these songs for right or wrong. They demonstrate the basis on which I'm basing my life upon. I'm chasing statements to the pavements that we're fighting on. Use my pen for the views in my head instead, it's used for signing on. Lost cause and all causes are lost on me, but I talk to God, so what more do you want from me? Sickened by cynicism, it's the darkest terror. Pick a precious piece of your heart, but the parts won't fit together. Subsiding in light and hiding in rhyme schemes. I live in District 9 on 19, find my crime scene. It might seem we've been living in a driven hell. They're probably installing more revolving doors on prison cells. District 19, welcome to the stomping ground. Earth shakes, make the ground break when we walk around. We're clawing out, we wanna make a statement here. District 19, scrap that, we ain't staying here. Leave if you want to or stay if you must. My name's Kayce One, I break thumbs and staple them up. A lyricist who's been given a motive over my sobriety, remotely controlled and hoping the show we watch inspires me. False promise and economy dissolves in mediocrity of people who offer hollow apologies. So here's my motto, suspended in an endless sorrow. I'm living for yesterday, so what am I gonna do tomorrow? God knows, I know it involves my crew. Toni Smoke makes the beats, the rest I guess is up to you. And well, I guess I'm just less impressed. I got seashells for days, but I just forget the rest. Will he pass the test? Probably not, probably unstoppable. Watch him cause he's off to the top. Rocket launching this responding to calls from a cosmonaut, but not as often as the mass amount of calls I seem to miss from God. Full stop, read that backwards, grab a drum track in my backpack, that's the answer. I'm going insane and I hope I go from old age. I smell a Mayfair in the clothes I wore for 4 days. District 19, welcome to the stomping ground. Earth shakes, make the ground break when we walk around. We're clawing out, we wanna make a statement here. District 19, scrap that, we ain't staying here. Leave if you want to or stay if you must. My name's Kayce One, I break thumbs and staple them up. A lyricist who's been given a motive over my sobriety, remotely controlled and hoping the show we watch inspires me. Man, I ain't old school, I barely know what time it is. Raymond's my assignment, fine, I'm that early 90s kid. Designed to find another answer to your evergreen. Or laughter is the most amazing masterpiece you've ever seen. I don't think so, we can't go, the ship's broke. I tried waiting, I lack patience. Dispatch grammar when standing at train stations. So mate, pass a hammer, I'm recreating a nation. And then invading every other district we encounter. There's districts everywhere, none of them come close to ours. I walked for hours, but you didn't come back. I'm sharper than a thumbtack, sometimes I think rap. I'm just a scumbag out rocking a skull cap. Sunk back with my skunk bag and watch the sun dance. I'm the front man, encouraged by your urgency. I'll be stuck in District 19 for eternity. District 19, welcome to the stomping ground. Earth shakes, make the ground break when we walk around. We're clawing out, we wanna make a statement here. District 19, scrap that, we ain't staying here. Leave if you want to, or stay if you must. My name's Kayce One and I break thumbs and staple them up. A lyricist who's been given a motive over my sobriety. Remotely controlled and hoping a show we watch inspires me. Yeah, Kayce One, District 19. You'll find me blinded in the light beam. Peace.
Yeah, it feels really cool having District 19 getting recorded in there.
How they respond.
Such a beautiful contrast of just sitting writing a track and having no idea in a few months' time that it'll be going to Northern Ireland, England and Scotland.
BBC, great platform for showing people around, but they don't know how to spell people's names, so I had to
where's
change
my
it.
name tag?
If you could see the sight of tonight's session guest body popping in synchronisation, it would blow your mind. It's Kayce One and Toni Smoke live in session on BBC Radio 1. That was sounding amazing tonight. Cheers, Kayce.
Thank you.
Kayce, let's take it back to the start. Let's talk about musical influences. You mentioned there, obviously, this kind of bit of dance in there. So where are you coming from musically?
A lot of mix of stuff, but I've always been very much heavily been listening to hip hop from a really young age. It was sort of the only music I was always really into.
Cool, so you mentioned in that last track you're a 90s kid. So let's get a couple of names in there.
Oh god. Well, it was. I remember when I was young, I was listening to like a greatest hits. It was like 50 rap greatest anthems and stuff. And I was like Grandaddy Kane and Sugar Hill Gang and De La Soul and things like that. That was the sort of music that got me into hip hop. And then you because you're young, you're only really listening to what you can hear on the radio and CDs your mates have, and then, I just feel I couldn't relate to a lot of that stuff anymore, and that's when I became inspired locally by the musicians in Glasgow and other MCs there. It's a whole different kettle of fish. So
totally, man, totally. Yeah. That's great that you were inspired at quite an early stage as well, because I listened to Dr. Dre because my mates did, and
well, there you go.
Yeah, that wasn't very cool. But
neither was I. It's fine.
So you've obviously just written this album, Alphabetics, which was released just a month or two ago. Let's talk about the writing process for you. How do you go about that? Do you just lock yourself in your room, or is it with your mates?
Probably the best way to describe my writing process in one word would be lengthy.
Right.
Because I really do take a long time. That album was it was 9 months worth of production and recording from Tony, but 2 years worth of writing for me.
2 years.
Yeah, it was very much stacked
a lot
up.
Of work in there.
And was
a lot of love in that.
Good. Did you find it hard to the writing process, or was it that you wanted it to be spot on?
That's essentially it. We've all been talking earlier about MCs that feel rush into it too much, and we would spend a long time putting thought into exactly what I wanted to say in the song.
Brilliant.
And it being, obviously, Tony and I being such good mates in the studio, we'd just sit all day. We've recorded like most of the songs off Alphabetics, the ones that are there now, we re-recorded them about 3 times just so we were happy with absolutely everything.
I like that. I respect that a lot. Taking your
it's
time.
It's a process, to be honest, doing an album.
I think it's time to get back into some more live music from yourself tonight. Cool. What's the second track going to be?
Next track's called Pressing Issue. Yeah. It's off Alphabetics as well.
Excellent. Take it away, guys.
Cool.
Yes. Kayce One Toni Smoke, Radio 1. It's like this and like that and like this. I walk with my eyes shut, trying to save a nation. Break walls, rise up and I call it confrontation. I'm side switching, plus I've stopped praying. God kept me waiting, so I want to talk to Satan. Breaking down the formula, offering all I got for ya. Obeying a man-made cover, big brother's watching ya. Stay awake, started hating the taste. You knew the music used to be crazy, but you're making it fake, see? Trying to get your stuff played is sort of rough these days. Rappers who attack a pad seem to come in second place. It's gone horribly, we dropped it irresponsibly and lost it in hypocrisy. Like rappers now are novelty. Doesn't even bother the majority, honestly. They don't do it properly and it's sort of destroying me morally. Horizontally on top of an orange tree, what the? Do you rappers really write whatever dawns on you? I wanna hit it with a little more structure. The seems like it needs something, needs substance. You can see the feet coming, just keep the puffing. It doesn't mean a thing to me, just keep the beat running. It's hip hop, it's in the sound that surrounds you. Hip hop, it's even in the crowd that's around you. Hip hop, showing what the vowels and the nouns do. Hip hop, where on earth would we be without you? Hip hop, it's in the sound that surrounds you. Hip hop, even in the crowd that's around you. Hip hop, showing what the vowels and the nouns do. Hip hop, where on earth would we be without you? Yeah. I got respect for any beat premiere to Eric B. It's like a vibe to pretty much anything that gets sent to me. But it's been crazy, yo. I flow so brainless and lazy rappers take control on radio playlists. What nothing to do with a stupidry losing me. It's pure confusing when I'm hearing music that's consumed with jewellery. A contrast with the music that communities make. You play it to your mates and they say that it's great, but I'm maintaining it ain't. I see no sense selecting it, no one's recommending it. Boring and repetitive, no one will remember it. You need to stop that. Sorry, it's not rap because you can talk fast there. Saying they're great, but the mainstream made you. The money and the fame ain't nothing I relate to. Rapping on a stage with my mates till my feels due. My name's Kayce, made a tape, mate, take two. It's hip hop, it's in the sound that surrounds you. Hip hop, it's even in the crowd that's around you. Hip hop, showing what the vowels and the nouns do. Hip hop, where on earth would we be without you? Hip hop, it's in the sound that surrounds you. Hip hop, even in the crowd that's around you. Hip hop, showing what the vowels and the nouns do. Hip hop, where on earth would we be without you? Yeah, Kayce One Toni Smoke, Alphabetics.
Pressing Issue by Kayce One and Toni Smoke, totally live in session for BBC Radio 1. Thank you very much, guys.
Not a problem. Thanks for having us.
That was like an awesome wee ode to hip hop there.
Yes,
essentially, yeah.
No, we've got loads of stuff. We've already started working on a second album.
Right.
We've got a second Shadow People album, all of us collectively.
Who's in
out.
Shadow People? It's you.
It's me,
John,
Tony's obviously
yeah,
the producer, Nitty Grits,
Nitty.
RST, and
Right.
Weedy.
And Soul.
And Soul now, who doesn't
Right.
make music but is a very well known battler.
Right,
Been
okay.
does a lot of
So
stuff.
Weedy's, has he always been in Shadow People?
Yeah.
Right. I really like his.
That was my partner in the battle.
Yeah, because Ali was telling me it was you and Weedy, and I love Weedy's.
Weedy, he is really great.
His like some of his stuff. You know,
He's got-
you have to go back to get it.
Yeah,
A lot of the time, it's,
I do the same.
it's
I'm
so
recording
dense.
it and when I'm mixing it, I start hearing lines. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I missed that.
He's very talented. Some people are put off by how heavy his Glaswegian accent is,
Oh, that's the best
but
thing about it.
it's brilliant, man. He's very well respected for the writing
Oh.
that he does. He's
And his
great.
aggression. That's just like,
Yeah.
Like in
like you right
battles,
up to
he will
people's
drink like
faces.
3 bottles of energy juice and just go in, sweat buckets and shout at you. Just say your mother's a dick, you know. Just really good stuff. RST is he makes a lot of music. He's known really well for battles. So
Right.
we're all sort of a battle-minded crew, to be
Uh-huh,
honest.
So you're gonna do your own second album and a Shadow People.
We're also doing a music video for Pandas with Guns. That
Cool.
is gonna. We've loads of ideas for that. That's
Brilliant.
gonna be really good.
So I'm working on Kayce's album, the Shadow People album, Weedy's album,
Right.
Nitty's
Yeah,
album.
he's just recorded another.
So I'm doing
Man.
all the beats sort of.
Who's feeding the
released.
baby, John?
Me.
You can
I
just
eat,
John just
sleep,
seems to have
and
cut
live
sleep
in
out
the
of his
studio,
life.
man.
Just no need to lie down and sleep anymore. Just
I've got a very
Kinda.
understanding wife. She knows what we're trying to do, and
Exactly.
she
Right.
understands the work ethic, so she knows that what
Cool.
we've got to do.
Oh, I think it's about time on BBC Introducing in Scotland on Radio 1 to go back to the second half of our session guests, Kayce One and Toni Smoke. What's happening? See, usually when we do this show, the session guests are like way downstairs in the basement of the studio here. But tonight, you guys are like on the 4th floor, up here
Yes.
in another radio studio, just but a pane of glass away from me.
Just glass and cement that divides us.
I know, just say before you start this track, Pandas with Guns,
Yes.
you are both sporting some very
We are.
fetching
We are, yes.
hoodies which have pandas with guns on them.
Exactly.
We'll
It's
talk
as
about it
simple as
after.
that.
We've made effort.
Thank you. It is Kayce One and Toni Smoke on Radio 1. This track is called Pandas with Guns and it's live. So live.
See, I seek the drum beat. Toni Smoke's a man for it, giving me the chance to put my master plan on manuscript. Alphabetics, let me get it, I can sum it up like son, I'm double Dutch with the assumption that I'm coming up. While you're sitting there wondering why you've not been discovered, then suddenly that certain someone says something that makes you jump around and wanna break. I made this, take this, break this, still baked off 8 spliffs. I was a pacifist, I'm sort of fighting now. You're acting like a clown, if it's worth saying, write it down. You ain't even worth the paper that you line it on. I bet you only try to dot the dots when you write a song. How long that take? 4 or 5 minutes? My scene's been infested with these over-glorified gimmicks. Style stolen, report an eyewitness, hoping that you little posers choke like when I did it. Clenched my hand and I left Japan devastated, even though I'm undereducated, my flow elevated. I respect the MCs who deserve it. Music made me break away and then create a wordsmith. First I was nervous, wordless, verbless as Earth's surface became my sole purpose as a purchase. Been 20 years, correct what I'm saying. Chilling with these chemically defective human beings is because we're disrespectful. You forget to get the meaning, and I'm in your face screaming, repeating what Glaswegian. But I said that's that, it's retaliation. You're amazing masquerading as a cancer patient. We can't help it, it rolls in the rough veins, stored like it's stumbling and soaked in the bloodstains. I have my days like the rent pays, call it off. My mood swings are like the light switch on and off. It seems hopeless, it seems choking, and I'm no joking. I woke up to the joint that I fell asleep smoking. Evil people must be like 100 guys, wanna touch the sky then succumbing to the lullabies. Soul sucker strolling by, blood cover sober guys. If you're noting us as hopeless mucker, so am I. Can't match me, cat, I'm the hardest. Battle rap shows my progression as an artist. Having some fun, don't hassle me son. Stop laughing man, I'm battling for pandas with guns. You can consider this a chorus cause I haven't got one. Just break away. Yeah, I'm having some fun, don't hassle me son. Stop laughing man, I'm battling for pandas with guns. You can consider this a chorus cause I haven't got one. And just break away. Yeah, I start this, believe the imposter. See me, the best MC on your roster. Forget the starlight, we project the hard life and represent the rappers who can never get their bars right. Rats in the front room, roaches in the back. We run no one on the map, it's flowing poets on the track. And it was never the same, I remember that cold day. Weather in its own way, blowing on a snowflake. You were so fake, you know you make my soul break. Though I hope to get to know the boards that make the floor shake. Go back, you know that your flow's whack. So sad, sever the souls, hit the road jack. Spend the night on my knees, got rupturing, wondering circumstance when the walls crumbling. I need the beating everyone around. I'm just coming with the thunder sound and rumbling the underground. With all of it I had a problem to accept it. I sat within the audience, stayed on a new perspective, and what I saw was not reflective of our sentences. So I stress every letter just for emphasis. This isn't what you thought it would be, but I'm caught in between monsters that are following me in the road that I see. Even when I talk and I breathe, they're talking to me like I've even seen them crawl in my dreams. And I'm having some fun, don't hassle me son. Stop laughing man, I'm battling for pandas with guns. You can consider this a chorus cause I haven't got one. Just break away. Yeah, I'm having some fun, don't hassle me son. Stop laughing man, I'm battling for pandas with guns. You can consider this a chorus cause I haven't got one. And just break away. Yeah, Kayce One Toni Smoke, Alphabetics. It's like this and like that and like this, I know. It's like this and like that and like this, I know. It's like this and like that and like this, I know. It's like this and like that and like this.
Our last show of last year was basically I did the same. It was that Christmas rapping special.
I've seen the
Yeah,
videos,
Mad Hat
the
next
guys
one.
in there.
Yeah, and we just had Kobe, Stanley Odd, Mad Hat, and Smiler, Lioness, and Murky, something down south, and JP, who's our street music correspondent, came up as well. And just off that, Mad Hat's, I think he's going to be doing a track with Smiler next.
Aye.
Yeah, and they've got Lioness and stuff. And JP is trying to hook up SBTV stuff for them.
Good stuff.
So it's just that thing of you need to create that
Yep.
network, you know.
Definitely.
And,
That's what we were chatting about.
Yeah.
and even amongst artists here, you know, it's that because you can really feel the force now. 'Cause I've been into,
definitely. Yeah.
I mean, I've been rapping since 1990.
Aye.
You know, so I remember going down to meet Sony Records in '95.
Wow.
You know,
I was 5.
and they were just like, we don't know what to, you know, we really like your stuff, but we don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
You know, there's nowhere we can place you. And now just seeing that change,
Yeah, it's really a
and
lot
people
more
getting over the
consistent.
accent.
Yeah.
And
That's really key. That is.
the
Well, I
accent.
don't know. I
was
feel
key.
it's
Scottish people.
You're quite clear though, you know.
swinging.
Yeah, we've always been really lucky with that.
clear on your
Yeah.
enunciating things. It's just a pendulum, man. It was even a few years ago, like hip hop from England wasn't really well
Not
like
at all.
publicised and known
No.
about. But now in England, there's a massive pride in your local.
Absolutely.
And it's simply, and then like you've got, you know, guys that have just sort of come from nothing in London are getting number ones, and
Absolutely.
it's going to swing up here eventually with
Do you know-
Mad Hat and me and
Yeah.
Louis getting on the radio.
It's
gonna
that
push
clarity
it
as
out.
well. You know, if you maintain the clarity.
Yeah, of course.
Because I send tracks to One Extra all the time.
Yeah.
You know, because it's part of my job, and I feel I need to represent people up here more than anything else.
Yeah.
So I send them tracks, and I remember last year sending them stuff, and the email I got back from producers was, "Can you translate this for us? 'Cause we don't know what they're saying here."
Yeah.
And that's the kind of problem you face, is that
Mhm.
because they're not comfortable with the language.
That's it.
You know, so and yeah, if you look, say 91, one of my favourite ever groups is Hijack. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of them. London group called Hijack. They released an album called The Horns of Jericho. Ice-T signed them to his label.
Wow.
Right, and they did a tour with him. When they played the Barrowlands, they were his support act,
Right.
and they totally blew him off the stage.
Amazing.
So they came on first. There was about 7 of them in the crew. This is pre-Wu-Tang Clan.
Right.
Then Ice-T came on, did his gig, and at the end he went off hoping for the encore, and the encore was for Hijack.
Oh,
Like
man,
the
that's
whole,
so cool.
But even Hijack, their album, you know, it's like you can hear the British, but it's got an American twang about it.
Yeah, there's a lot
you know.
of people did.
So just watching the change from that to now to totally all out
Now it's
English
total
accents,
slang, yeah,
it's
that's
amazing.
it. Yep.
You're like, man, that's taken 20 years,
Exactly.
you know, for that to
Yeah.
develop.
So-
But I think now with the obviously invention of online, and you know, you
Yeah.
can collaborate with people left, right, and centre.
Yeah.
That's what you need, because sometimes you need a name associated with you, you know, to kind of
Yeah,
sponsor you,
Yeah.
just
Yeah, I
to push
think
you further
so.
up.
Understandable.
The thing Scotland's problem is sort of the attitude some people have, but they always think, well, they've got a they don't believe
Mhm.
a lot of people in themselves. You get a very West of Scotland kind of theme.
It's,
You
that's
feel it.
generally very British.
Yeah.
You know, it's a very British attitude, but when you come
Yeah.
to Scotland, it's like
It's amplified.
to the power of 10
Yeah.
beyond that. Because even I think a lot of the English artists who have now made it, if you look at the attitude, it's quite American. The attitude is American,
what I mean,
you know,
yeah.
to kind of promote yourself
Yeah.
and totally have self-belief. And
That's important.
whereas that Britishness is kind of being parked a bit.
Yeah.
But here you're right, that's what it is. But the thing is, I think if you've got the skills,
Mhm.
I think in the past a lot of the artists that I've known up here didn't have quite cut the mustard.
Right.
You know, they were
Yeah.
cool, but it wasn't at the level where
Yeah.
you'd be comfortable playing it on our show.
Yeah.
You know, you'd be like, that's cool, but I'm not sure if it's something that I
Yeah.
would send to One Extra.
Of course, yeah.
You know? So now's the opportunity.
told me,
Traditionally,
excellent.
promoters have basically gone Scottish hip hop. It's just not happening.
Yeah.
And when we put on, I mean, I took a big risk on Mad Hat last year, putting on at
Yeah.
Tea in the Park. But I just thought if he really puts in the work, you know, it'll happen.
Mm.
And he rehearsed. I just said to him, you got to rehearse to death.
Yeah.
Because it's an open field, you know, there's a main stage where there's a big act on. These are the people you're competing against.
Yeah.
The other thing is visual representation. You know, even if it's a hood video, get Gregor on the case.
Yeah.
You know, even if it's just you walking along the
Yeah,
streets,
that's always been the
Yeah.
plan.
just make sure there's something visual, because this is the first digital generation.
Yeah.
You know, and people are what they call information snacking.
Right.
You know, so they don't want they're not bothered if you've got a massive budget to produce a big video.
Mhm.
They just want to see something.
Yeah,
You know, and it
yeah.
needs to be shareable.
Mhm.
You know,
That's it.
3 or 4 minutes long.
Yeah.
Something that they can say, cool, I like that, bounce it to somebody else.
Mhm.
You know, but just make sure you keep knocking videos out. I think Mad Hat and his posse are probably at the top of that game just now in Scotland. They keep knocking
Yeah.
videos out. You know, it's almost relentless, because I was saying to them, because they're away to London and they're
Yeah,
doing
that's
this
it.
and they've got full-time jobs. You know,
Yeah, I
and,
know.
and you say to them, how are you managing this? And they're just like, we're just trying to put everything into it.
Mm.
And
But that shows.
Yeah.
It definitely shows.
it's that young audience, you know, that's what they're into.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, they've got
Definitely.
a phone, they're on the laptop at the same
Yeah.
time, sharing stuff, you know, looking
I
at stuff.
actually think people that are even like younger than me, they are the ones that seem to be looking into
Mhm.
the Scottish hip hop more.
Absolutely.
Like, I mean, it is crazy the amount of younger fans that you've
Mhm.
got, because they're obviously well clued up on the internet.
The
and
thing
they
is,
can
it's
just
the
find what
first
they want.
time. It's the first time this scene has exploded here.
Yeah, that's
the
it,
first
yeah.
time. Because I remember when I was at college getting into Two Tone Committee, you know,
Yeah.
who were probably one of the first ever Scottish hip hop bands. and there was just nobody else like it anywhere. So they would support any big act come, but it's the only time you'd see them. You wouldn't see them at gigs because there was just nowhere for them to gig. And then even since then, I think the battle rap scene creates a sort of kudos, you know, where people can go and have a laugh and all that sort of stuff and get to know people. And the next level is obviously turning that a bit more professional. And this is the first time it's ever happened. You know, watching Gregor's videos initially, I was like, wow, this is people actually videoing this, and there's loads of people actually watching this now as well.
People are so into it now, it's just be great to put it down more avenues for people to see. Yeah, no, you can really feel that it's taken off now. People have got a lot more pride in it, so the next step is to have it played in the radio and to try and progress with it.
It's great
so
to
we're
get
trying to do.
I think with that Alphabetics, because we took so long with it and let it evolve in its own wee beast. I mean, we didn't have to really.
That's the thing,
that was a key formula.
Scottish artists is they are so desperate to write, and they're so even if they're talented young guys, they will take a few days to write an album and then try and record it in one long session, then put it out a week later.
I would say if there's something big hitting the charts, get the instrumental and dub it.
Aye, that's something I was
I just think it's the way to maintain presence when Pass Out hit the charts. I remember saying to loads of MCs that I know here, I was like, do a dub of it. It's just like everybody's talking about it. You know, if somebody Googles it, it might come up. And then Tiny Tempa's own team went out to find dubs and then released an album of those dubs.
That's amazing,
you know, with their approval.
Yeah, of course.
You know, so, and I think dubs are the way just to maintain presence, and it's easy to do.
You can even just take it and just flip it, so you could sample and work it into everything.
But it's important to get out.
Really obvious. Yeah, but I mean, we get doing gigs throughout the week, every week. I mean, it's non-stop sets. I mean, given so people always have sort of the album shoved in their face with me going up, but we are getting a bit of a following now, which is really, really cool. I mean, a lot of people they're looking out for the name, or if they see it's a set, then they'll go out their way. It's good having people just knowing.
And that's the other thing. Once you develop a fan base, you need to give them something regularly for nothing. You know, it's just that's the vibe of the music industry now. And if you obviously you're going to take time to make an album, which hopefully people will pay for if they love you enough. You know, but on that journey to it, you know, just keep giving them stuff.
Let's hear one last session track tonight. What's it going to be?
It's going to be Mr. Writer.
It's got to be Mr. Writer.
Okay, take it away. It's the last session track tonight from Toni Smoke and Kayce One.
Yeah. See, I don't write these songs for anyone in general, don't dedicate my pages to anything unacceptable. And so I guess, good or bad, I confide in him. This album's dedicated to the pad I write it in. Toni Smoke on a beat, mate. Mr. Writer, just another alias, a disgraced painter whose middle name was plagiarist. Paintbrushes for an atheist, basis for the letter, bet he breaks it down and makes it into something better. But he isn't thinking it's a gift he's been given, when it's simply reflecting within the city he lives in. What he crafts on the pad, his creation's amazing. His school system just failed him. Can't count a full bar, but it makes it fit. Really nothing else to say, it's just the way he is. Always has his backpack so he can be between a rain scheme and green, whilst being a Glaswegian teen. Racer 16 with a slate of words on the back of his bus ticket, that can be a cipher verse. Insecure rain book, so he holds it tight. Only ever get to hold a mic in the open mics, but he flows it right, hoping that they notice him when he's overdosing on the social soul that's been controlling him. They never heard of him, he verbally murdered them, word impervious the earliest, suddenly it occurred to him. Mr. Writer, it's sort of simple, isn't it? Scribbles on a pad till he's ripping up his fingertips. Just like you in some ways, many more. Isn't anything like how we used to be anymore. He's respectful, won't preach in his speech to you. Believes on a beat cause he thinks he can speak to you. Mr. Writer, we're almost the same person. Mr. Writer, we're almost the same. So Mr. Writer, I consider it daily. I'm limited by the citizens of the city that raised me. Close to his own nail, hope when the hope fails. Humble cause he knows that he wrote on the coattails. Mind state that was constantly calling him. It was everything he wanted, it was almost his oxygen. And on top of all of it, had a nation to find him. And rhyme books don't contain enough pages to write in. He connected sentences, it's always been around him. It found him, like through the poverty that surrounds him. He can't clutch the air, there's still nothing there and nothing's fair. And he's wondering if something's there to Took him 6 months just to get his verses right. Feeling worthless when he can't connect the words at night. Family life, aye, that'll be right. Only in the house in case he's in need of a place to sleep at night. And even then he was gripped with addictions, and beefing on the streets was inflicting the friction that he never wanted. Man, he hates the is a step above, so it won't affect his music. Mr. Writer, it's sort of simple, isn't it? Scribbles on the pad till he's ripping up his fingertips. Just like you, in some ways, many more. Isn't anything like how we used to be anymore. He's respectful, won't preach in his speech to you. Believes on a beat cause he thinks he can speak to you. Mr. Writer, we're almost the same person, yeah. Mr. Writer, we're almost the same. Cause you don't have the right to write like Mr. Writer does. He underrates the writers till it's almost like a lightning burst. When the slightest sight of Satan isn't obvious, he's walking like a prophet with a mask that says anonymous. On a map he'd be lost in Metropolis, and honestly he just wants to be recognised for wanting it. He noticed how the people that he started with were starting to target him, so no wonder they were starting a referendum. He could sense the tension. His best medicine was simply to forget them, and now he did. Benefits from Tom Cruise, feels he's getting better with the artist he looks up to. That's progression, doesn't write with the charts sell. Write what feels right, but that's mainly cause his heart fell. A young man hopes to go a good way, but he won't know till he turns to a new page. Yeah, Kayce One Toni Smoke, Alphabetics.